In this video, we're going to be going over some behind the scenes of the recent video that we did, Scariest Day of My Life, I Got a Boo Boo. If you haven't already, make sure you go watch that video before watching this one, so it makes more sense. And just explain how we did the video. Some of the stuff that you've seen was done at location, some of it was done during editing, and I will explain everything. Also, we're going to point out those 5 handprints if you didn't catch all of them. Also, make sure you wait to the end for the new outro song. Alright, let's get into the video.
Seekers, welcome to the show. Sit back, relax, okay, here we go. Like the fuse, it's ignited. Are they real, fake, or misguided? When you fake, you lie, and I think I know why. It's all for the money, trying to be rich, but from what I've seen, you're just a...
The video you are about to watch is for entertainment purposes only. Some things that happen could be considered unexplainable, but we choose not to debunk and call it paranormal. All in good fun and hope you enjoy. This is only the beginning.
Camera. This is what we got.
Dude, what the fuck?
Alright, so no joke. We're not even setting stuff up. So when I got the BJs, we sat around for quite a while thinking of ideas of what we were going to do for the video. Now, when I mentioned before, with it being so hot that a lot of the plans that we had beforehand, we wasn't able to do. And while we were sitting there, BJ had turned on the ceiling light and we were in the next room looking for like props and stuff like that that we could use throughout the video. The light had flickered once and it kept doing that here and there, and then it flicker more and more as it was going. Once it started going off like this was when I grabbed the camera. So my guess is that the light bulb was getting ready to go out, but it was like the perfect opportunity to grab the camera and start recording because it was good for the video. When it started happening, I did put the REM pod down and it started going off like crazy. So what you see here was not us messing with anything to make it happen. And I'm pretty sure that with the light going on and off so quickly directly above the REM pod, I do believe that is what helped set it off. Completely, yeah. And the light up here has been going on and off. And because of that, we went ahead and set up the REM pod just to see if it would go off. And there for a while it hadn't. And now it's just going off like crazy.
And it's not doing it.
Also, what I also found out was with the REM pod set on the table where it's at, I was able to take a step around 5 to 10 feet away from that table. And each step that I made would make that REM pod go off. Just that little bit of vibration was able to set it off. And knowing that that can happen, it's pretty important for when the other one goes off later in the video. And I'll explain when we get there. Hello, Seekers. Tonight we're going to be investigating a private residential house. The owners of the house have said that they've been having things falling off shelves. Some nights they say that they can hear what sounds like a baby crying and they have no kids. Loud scratching on a chalkboard. So we'll be setting up a camera to record that, see if we can get anything. Sounds of footsteps through the ceiling from upstairs. Shadow figures. There's almost unlimited stuff that happens here. It's going to be a crazy night. Obviously, we all know that the whole investigation was fake. All the activity that I just made up, it was everything that I planned on making happen somewhere throughout the video. We've seen a lot of paranormal channels that make up activity, even owners of locations do this. What better than to tell the viewers about a bunch of fake activity that's happened at a location? Almost could say that it's also foreshadowing. During editing, I spotted something. During this clip is just me talking about Spirit Talker, and I wanted to start it up to see if we could get anything at the very beginning. The first thing that we actually set up and faked, Chucky. What we used the most, invisible fishing string. Like when we made plans of what we were going to do, we were talking about using fishing string. Now, when I got to BJ's, not only did he have fishing string, but invisible fishing string. So it helps hide. It's harder to see. So in this particular clip, the fishing string is tied around Chucky's wrist, and it's going behind the pillow, and it's going all the way over here behind where I'm at. To my left, up against the wall, is his TV, but it's going behind that TV, and BJ is standing behind that TV, just slowly pulling on that string here and there. We don't want to make him move too much to make it too obvious, so just a slight little bit of movement. Alright, so this is the actual raw footage of that. And when I was talking about losing the audio, that actually happened with 4 clips that we wasn't able to use. So it's tied around his wrist right here. It's going behind the pillow. At one point, he pulls it hard enough to where it actually lifts up the pillow. I cut it right before that happens so it doesn't make it too obvious. You'll see it happen right here. Right there on the homemade OUIJA board. So this right here was very interesting because during the editing, which looking at it on the TV screen, I can see the string clear as day right here. It's harder to see the one on this side that's going to my hand because it's darker on this side. So with the sunlight hitting over here, you're able to see the shine coming off of the string. All right, so we're going to bring it up on my editor. I'm going to try to zoom in as best as I can during editing this. So right here you can see the string, but that's also with adding color correction to it. So if I remove this, this will remove that color correction. You can see it a little bit better. All right, so what we're going to right here, now that this is in the light, because I'm holding it in this hand, you can see it coming up right here. That's going to me. So the way that it's going is it's going in BJ's hand over the table, and it's not tied to anything. I just looped it around and brought it over to me. So every once in a while, I'll pull on it, he'll pull on it. It's all done at random while we're just sitting here talking. Is there anybody in here that would like to talk to us?
We set some book.
I've mentioned before in past videos, when a channel uses night vision camera, no matter if it's like this right here where it's pink, like got that pink tone to it, or if it's got that green tint to it, or if it's just like a black and white type view, they use those not only because it's at night, but fake channels like to use it because it's easier to hide stuff like that. Now, if I would have used a night vision camera the entire time, you can zoom in on this all you want, and it's going to be really hard to spot that string. You can't see it at all compared to right here when it's just a normal camera. You can see that string. Gave you permission to try to harm us, and it said we're friends. If we're friends, what's my name? Now, the video itself, the speed is at normal speed, but you'll probably be able to tell the different coloring and all that stuff to it. Now let's look. This is the close-up view compared to... Now this right here took a good little amount of different coloring done to it. I did a lot of coloring edit, but this right here is the main thing. Now if I change this... what it does is it smooths stuff out, kind of like, I know on some apps it's like a beauty type thing, so it kind of like smooths out wrinkles and stuff like that when you're taking pictures. So that's pretty much what it does. When it does that, it will remove that string completely. Now I'm going to remove the entire color edit and we'll see the difference. So right here you can actually see the string right there, and it's going up right there. Now we'll play it. You'll see, especially right here, you'll see that one fade in and out. Let me zoom out of it too. This is zoomed out without the color edit. Now you can really see that string. Before the video started, I was in the live premiere, and if anybody was in there early enough, they would have seen me comment in it saying that hopefully you guys are watching on your phone, because the smaller screen that you're watching it on, the harder it is to spot that string. Now, me watching it on one of my monitors, I can see that string clear as day. Yeah, so back on the bigger screen, you can see that string going all the way through.
If this could be used as a Ouija board, it's known that spirits can come through the
During editing this video, I knew what I set up, so that was the main thing of what I was looking for. And a lot throughout this, I was more focused on the string and seeing how well it was hidden. When that K2 just lit up, this is the first time that I actually noticed that happening. But you'll see it when it lights up. That is right when I'm bringing the phone closer to it.
This could be used as a Ouija board. It's known that spirits can come through the Ouija board and the planchette.
Yeah, you can even actually see when I move it as it's going further away from it, closer when I'm going around with it. The closer it gets to it, the higher it spikes.
Come through and talk to us.
Okay, now that was the REM pod. Now that REM pod is one of the cheaper ones, and it's harder for it to get set off. Every location that I've gone to, I've taken it and I've always set it up somewhere. It never goes off, which is kind of weird. Each time that REM pod went off, because right outside this window right here is a small yard and then the street. And the street that is out front, it's a country road that the speed limit is 55 miles an hour. Often what comes down that road is semis. And each time that REM pod went off, I noticed that a semi, like a loud, heavy vehicle, was driving by. My thought is that the vibration from that heavy vehicle driving by was enough vibration to set that REM pod off. I talked to BJ when this happened. Obviously that part was cut out, but he had brought up, why isn't the other REM pod going off? The other REM pod is on the couch, so it's got all that cushion that's going to help absorb that vibration, unlike this table over here. If I had a walkie-talkie, I would have used it more through the video to make both of them go off at the same time. Now, knowing that a heavy vehicle driving by at a good amount of speed, that vibration is enough to set off a REM pod that's set in a sturdy area. So that kind of just comes to show that when you watch these other videos that they're in an old house and they got a REM pod set up on a table or something, if it goes off, you have to take in consideration of everything around you. It's annoying because these fake channels, they don't want to think about debunking anything. They get it to go off and they just automatically assume that it's paranormal when there's so much of a reasonable explanation as to what set it off.
I can't see that. I don't know if it's gone off at all.
No, it's just the one green light.
So you've touched the REM pod.
Right here is where I mess with the K2. Nothing's going on. And I mentioned the K2 as in I haven't noticed it going off. Foreshadowing, because now all I'm going to do is just put my hand, I don't even put my whole hand in my pocket. All I do is put my thumb in my pocket on my phone. All I'm doing is just pushing this and just turning this screen right here on. That's it.
Are you able to come over here and get close enough to that and make it go off?
I forgot that I zoomed in on that because I didn't want viewers to see me. We'll go into editor. So now we're in the editor. This is where I just left off at. So I zoomed in on that area, but we'll take it back and we'll actually go ahead and zoom in on me. Now this is the video at a different angle that you didn't see. All right, so right here you'll see me just put my thumb in my pocket and just push that button on my phone, and that was it.
Was that you that just set that off?
And obviously the sound that you heard was the baby crying. An audio overlay. I'm sure a lot of you guys have caught that one. when this happened. What you guys don't hear is the actual audio, because at this point there was actually a noise. We'll turn his audio up. Now, what I'm pretty sure it is coming from the phone. Let me take away that boom. That right there. I'm pretty sure that was just a noise that came from the phone, but because that happened and the way we reacted to it, it was a given to put a different noise over it.
It's like it said something right at the same time too. I can't hear it though. It's
Bro,
what?
that wasn't your phone.
Huh?
That was in here. That noise was in this fucking room. That noise was in this room.
The only thing I heard was like something coming from that. If that's really you, make that light up again.
It's actually pretty funny, because the reason why I smiled is because BJ's covering his mouth, but he looked over at me and he quietly asked me if that was me.
Earlier it was. It did at the same time I did that, so I thought it might have been me.
It's just my phone. It's still on and it's causing it still to spike. I mean, if it's gone off, then it's my chance to still act as if I don't know what it is.
Didn't go off. Are you having trouble speaking to that?
Okay, this part right here, obviously the laugh was an overlay. Now back to the editing part. All right, so that would be this. So the reason why we made that face and reacted that way is because the app made a weird noise. Nothing compared to what the overlay was. This right here is the unedited version of what happened at that time.
Are you having trouble speaking to that?
So it was just a weird noise again that came out of the app. The reaction that we gave when it happened was again a perfect chance to put an overlaid sound to it.
Sound like a yes to me, but
Can you try just pushing on it, knocking it over?
All right, so this right here is pretty funny too. I wanted to give the string pull one more shot. My attempt was to knock the whole thing over by giving it a pull. All right, so we're going to take away the audio overlay. We'll zoom out, and this is what happened. The way that the string is wrapped around it, that's all it is. It's just wrapped around it. It's not tied to anything. So when I pulled it quick enough to where it actually just went right underneath it. You'll see my hand right there move. And with just a little bit of editing, changing the camera angle so you see what I want you to see.
Can you try just pushing on it, knocking it over?
All right, there's the first handprint. That is at timestamp 1610.
With the owner saying that some things have fallen, we'll be putting Chucky in a different spot to see if we can get any activity going with him.
The reason why I even did this whole clip was it's all foreshadowing, talking about things being knocked over and showing me moving Chucky where he's going and trying to make it look like nothing's tied to him, because at this moment nothing is tied to him.
We'll put Chucky up here. Pretty solid area.
So between that cut that just happened, once I turned the camera off, was when I put the string to Chucky. When I tied the string to Chucky, I tied it around his neck. For when he fell, I wanted him to make sure that he falls straight over. And if I would have tied it to his foot, then there would have been a chance that he would have fell backwards and knocked a bunch of stuff over. So we wanted to make sure that he was falling head first. It's just strung down, going underneath the table here, and BJ is holding the string for that. At this time, the string is also tied to the clown.
Having the K2 go off. Other than that, I haven't really noticed anything.
All right, so right here, I have the string tied to the doll, and it's going behind this table. Down here, it's going behind this TV. the TV stand all the way down through here, and then it comes around the table to me. When we originally planned for this to happen, I was going to pull the string hard enough to pull that clown completely off the table. But with how far it was going, the string actually came up into here, so it was stuck between the stocking and the table, made it harder for me to pull. But I mean, it still worked out though.
Ethically.
So we've heard that.
So you can see my hand over here because it's still, there's too much slack. So I'm kind of just trying to like ball it up in my hand to make it tight. So when I'm ready to pull it, there won't be all that slack and I can move my hand as less as possible. Well, I have a few of these zoomed in, so we'll zoom out.
Ethically.
So we've heard that.
Right there. And the edited version, I was zoomed in on my face because I don't want you seeing what my hands are doing.
So we've heard that. Did you just set that REM pod off? If so, can you do it again? What the hell?
Now we'll watch the video footage of when that just happened, but leaving the camera on me.
If so, can you do it again?
That's how far I had to pull that string to get it to go there.
Do it again? Do it again? What the hell?
When I walked up, obviously that was enough vibration to set off the REM pod again, but it made it look good because it went off.
That REM pod just fell off.
What the fuck?
And here's the footage of when BJ pulled the string that pulled Chucky down. You can watch his hands right here. He doesn't move them too much.
That REM pod just fell off.
What the fuck?
What the hell? Ethically again.
Is the REM pod still up there?
Yeah, it fell over. What did it say?
Clown.
So when Vox just made that sound, it sounded like it said clown. It could have said many words. But it did help the video and us that it sounded like it said clown. That wasn't an audio overlay. That was the actual app that did that.
At the very beginning, we were talking about the woman, or sorry, the owners of the house had mentioned about a baby. It was the word baby. Not only that, when we did our intro talking about the baby,
Obviously, another overlaid sound of a woman crying. I mean, I'm talking about a woman and her baby, so I just figured I'd throw in an overlaid sound of what sounds like a woman crying.
it's almost like it used all of its energy to say the few words and knocked.
There just went handprint number 2 and 3 at timestamp 25:45. It'll be right here in the wall.
Almost like it used all of its energy to say the few words and
Right there. Now, I feel like these are the 2 handprints that probably a lot of people didn't catch.
all right, well, this one's quiet. So if we get anything through Spirit Talker.
This right here is just an orb overlay that I moved around. I'd do it again later on too. Right here in this corner.
Does this app make it easier for you to communicate?
Are you still here? Well, I did ask it earlier if it liked Ninja Turtles, and
Raphael
goes by Raph in the shows.
And there just went handprint number 4 and 5. That was at timestamp 2702.
What's the baby's name that was here?
Phil.
That's how easy it is to manipulate when you're using Spirit Talker or in any talking app, I guess. There's so many names in the database of these apps. So many names that it probably equals out to just as many words. So the chances of getting a name is pretty common. And you can't say that it can be an actual spirit saying that the baby's name is Phil, because way earlier in the video I asked what the baby's name was and it gave me a different name.
Who hurt Phil?
Right here, you can see BJ smirking. When that happened, oh, as you can see, we didn't even really react to it. Kind of like you see in a lot of videos, sometimes they don't react to it because they know that it's fake. But when it happened, I looked at BJ and he told me that it was him, that he nudged the table. Alright, I'm not going to show the whole clip, but hopefully you've watched the actual video before you're watching this. So in the other camera view, you're probably seeing the big doorway, and in that doorway is where BJ is standing at. Every once in a while, you can probably see even his shadow moving on this wall. Right before I started this video, I did one it wasn't a hard scratch, and it was done right before I started recording. And I'm not recording for that long for the scratch to show up as dark as it was when I do show it. It shows how easy it is to fake. BJ is off over here to the left holding that pillow.
So, I don't know. Activity?
Right there, you can see his shadow.
Are you able to show any physical proof that you are here?
Right here.
The fuck? So, I don't know. Activity? Correct. Are you able to show any physical proof that you are here? The fuck?
Now, when the pillow's thrown, I guess to pull it off, like the difference between my reaction and someone like Dylan, his reaction.
What in the hell was that?
The fuck?
Every time it seems like something like that happens, right before it comes flying at him, he looks up because he's scared that he's either scared and or he doesn't trust the person that's throwing it. So his first reaction is to look for it and make sure that it's not about to hit him. Here comes the book. He looks. And this is the face that you make, looking at the person, trying not to smirk, but also saying, "Motherfucker, you almost hit me."
What in the hell was that?
In my case, I knew it was coming, but to make it look real, I guess you just not be afraid.
The hell? Holy shit.
And just pretend that I feel a burning happen. Which this scratch, I barely even felt it when at this point.
fucking scratch. Oh, it fucking burns.
It didn't. It didn't burn, but I mean, that's what everybody says. So I mean, might as well just say it too, so it can be like them.
I'm about to get out of here. Dude, that scratch is fucking pretty damn burn. Right here, I got myself pretty fucking good.
You got yourself really damn good.
And it was just one fucking swoop. Tell me that fucking. So we'll be talking into this one. Alright. How do you,
So this was like a last minute idea. Obviously, there's nothing I can do. I mean, we didn't do anything fake with it. I thought that this would have been a really good way to end the video. So not only are we telling everybody at the beginning of the video that it's fake, but it was a way of telling everybody at the end of the video that it's fake. So we just spelled out the word fake on the Ouija board.
It's getting really hot in here.
Alright, well that pretty much concludes this video. Other stuff that I might have missed was just, I think that there was like an orb overlay that I had in the bottom corner. This was a first attempt at making a fake video. Obviously would have to work out, get a little bit better with the acting and maybe reacting to stuff that isn't there. So I'm trying to bring a little bit more content to the channel other than just nothing but debunks. If you like the idea of not only seeing debunking videos but also seeing played out fake videos and then videos like this where I go through and explain in detail how the video was done, let me know, because I have quite a few locations that I would like to check out. I plan on going to a cemetery at night and doing the same type of thing. That way there's like a rotation of videos, but it all has to do with either debunking paranormal, and there will be still actual legit paranormal investigations that I'll be going to. Alright, that's it. Now for that new outro song.
Let's start this song showing my appreciation. What you mean in the debunking nation. I wouldn't be here without every one of you, helping support me, doing what I do, accepting me and my quiet cold attitude. Funny stares or coming off rude, exposing the fakers, explaining how it's done, calling out the bullshit is so much fun. Hello, seekers. Hello, seekers. It's funny, claiming you got a scratch and a burn. It's stupid shit like that I call fake when you gonna learn. I noticed your cuts, talking to a ghost. All your lies is what sticks out the most. Spirits on your phone, talking through a text. I'm looking for someone to debunk, and you could be next. Hello, debunkers. Being united makes the community strong, but it only helps if we all get along. The community is the reason we expose what's fake and real. Speaking from the heart, this is how I feel.